Hi, I'm April N, and this week I'm going to talk about the hashtag IfIWereABoy. Now, a lot of women have been saying that if they were a boy, they would do things differently than men do. Like, they would treat women better, they would, find ways to balance the level with women. But here's the thing, if women were boys, they wouldn't have the same mentality that they do now. I used to think that way too. I always said, man, my life would be so much easier if I were a boy. And if I were a boy, I would do so many things differently. I would make sure that my sister got equal rights as me. I would make sure that all my girl coworkers would be paid the same amount of money as me. I would make sure that whenever I got a girlfriend, I would treat her like the queen of the world. I would make sure that I would never cheat on her. I would give her roses every day. I would cook for her. I would clean the house equally with her, so she wouldn't have to look after me. So it would be a partnership. That's the kind of thing. Those were the kind of things that I used to say about the whole fantasy. If I were a boy, this is what I would do. But the truth of the matter is that if I were a boy, I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. The way that I think and the way that I feel that way because I lived my life as a woman, because I struggled and grew as a woman, not as a boy. It reminds me of this one time where I was hanging out with one of my friends, and we were just having a regular conversation, and the conversation was flowing between topic to topic. And at one point, I brought up the hashtag Yes All Women because he had mentioned something about this girl who got mad at him for not being aware of the feminist struggles. He said that he had no idea what feminism even was. So I explained to him about the hashtag Yes All Women and about that hashtag Like a Girl and the other feminist movements that are going on. And he really was completely clueless. He's not in any way oppressive or rude or mean to women. He's very equal and very, great, but he had no idea the kind of struggles that women go through. I was telling him about these hashtags and about some of the stories that people were saying, and he was just completely shocked. He was like, I was completely unaware of it. So I explained to him some of my own experiences. I told him about how I was bullied, how even boys bullied me. I told them about how I used to defend myself from boys, and what they would do instead of calling me strong, they would call the boy weak because he got beat up by a girl, and those kinds of things. And I mean, you should have seen his face. He was like, wow, I really, really had no idea that you were so oppressed. I didn't even know, and he told me that he was the only boy out of 4 or 5 sisters, and he was telling me, I wonder if my own sisters have felt and suffered the way that you did. I really had no idea. So he was completely insensitive to all those things because he didn't know about those things. He wasn't intending to be a bad guy. And he definitely was not intending to be superior to anybody or anything. So if I were a boy, I would want to be aware of all the things that happen to women and be able to do something about it. I wouldn't want to be living on this pedestal that he was living, where everything is all, great, and he has no idea what's going on around him. I wouldn't want that to be me. If I were a boy, I would want to know what that struggle is like, so that I can do something about it. Because as a boy, I would actually have the power to do something about it. So yeah, if I were a boy, I would treat my girl the best that I could ever treat her. I would do everything that I could to make that girl happy. I would fight for women's rights just like any other woman would do. But I would have to make sure that if I really were a boy, that I would not forget about being a woman. Because to be honest, yes, we do have a lot of struggles and a lot of oppression, but being a woman is so wonderful. It really is. There are things that women feel and do that men just don't. And yes, I bet there's a bunch of great things about being a guy, but for guys it's really so simple. And that guy explained it to me the best. I mean, it's really so simple. They don't really have anything to worry about. It's just yes, there are situations where they have a really sucky life and things like that, but in general, a guy's life is really, really simple. There's no expectations of him. He doesn't have to brush his hair or dress nice or put makeup on his face to go out of the house, and they don't have to worry about listening to a song and being insulted, or which is why I like Katy Perry, because if you ever heard the song Peacock, it does to men what all those other songs do to women. So I thought it was really funny. Definitely not a recommended song, but I thought it was really funny that she kind of is making a statement. Like, why can't we do the same thing that men do? But that's not the point. The point is that if I were a boy, I would want to still have that women mentality. I don't want to change that, because all the experiences that I had made me who I am. The way that I feel, the way that I perform, and that I live my life is as a woman who has suffered and endured and persevered. And if everything just came simple to me, just handed to me on a platter just because of my gender, then I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. There could be a long list of things that say, if I were a boy, I would do this and this and this and that. But if I were a boy, I would want to be a girl. Anyways, that's my personal opinion. And I hope that you guys have a great week. And I will see you next week with a new topic. Bye-bye.